Summer's heating up, and so are the indie game releases in August, from a Groundhog Day style time loop adventure to a TMO or tiny multiplayer online. Make sure you stick around to catch all the best coming this month. Hey guys, it's Cody with Indie Game Pulse. We're going to do our giveaway a little differently this month. To enter, just subscribe to the channel and like and comment on this video, but leave a comment about which game stands out the most from our list, and you'll be entered for a chance to win that game on the console of your choice. The winner will be drawn on Tuesday, August 3rd during our stream. Discord members do get an extra entry, so be sure to jump over to our server. The link is in the description. Now let's get to the games. 12 Minutes is the Groundhog Day style game I mentioned in my intro, except here, instead of every day repeating, your character's story begins anew every 12 minutes. You play as a husband, spending a quiet, romantic night at home with your wife, when a detective barges into your home accusing your wife of murder and beating you to death. And then you wake up 12 minutes earlier and must use that span of time to gather details and solve the mystery about what's really going on. The developer, Luis Antonio, was one of the artists on The Witness, a beautiful puzzle narrative game from several years ago, and I'm very intrigued by this newest venture. 12 Minutes comes to PC and Xbox on August 19th. At number 9, and something much lighter in terms of atmosphere and content, we have KeyWe, a game which first caught my eye at the Indie World Showcase earlier this year. Specifically, the adorable little Kiwi birds butt-stomping their way across the typewriter in this clever co-op mail delivery game. Similar to games like Overcooked and Moving Out, once you master the basics and figure out how to work together with your partner, the game will begin throwing new monkey wrenches into your well-oiled machine. There are a lot of unlockables and cosmetics to dress up your chunky birds to your heart's content, and you can pick up KeyWe on PC and all consoles starting August 31st. Up next is a game that hasn't been on my radar for too long, but with its striking visual style and obvious nods towards the 90s culture that shaped my youth, I had to feature The Big Con. Billed as a comedy adventure in which you play as a runaway teen con artist, this game features everything from VHS videos to payphones to being able to safely hitchhike with random drivers. Just kidding, that was never a thing. You're on a mission here to save your family's video store, and no distance is too great to keep you from that goal. If you lived through the 90s, you'll probably have a nostalgia trip and a lot of laughs with this one. If you're Gen Z, you'll probably still enjoy it, but not be in on all the jokes. Either way, you don't have to wait on your dial-up internet connection to download The Big Con when it releases to PC and Xbox on August 31st. Song of Iron is a game that I featured on our Steam Next Fest demo stream back in June, and boy, what a time I had with just the demo. This game is such a beauty with its wonderful foreground and background elements that add a lot of lore to this bleak Norse world. Your character's quest to find the great temple of the gods is fraught with enemies, some crafty and lurking in the shadows, others of gargantuan dimensions ready to rip your head off. Beating the first boss in the demo was extremely satisfying, and the combat is tough but rewarding as well once you learn the intricacies of it. Plus, once you unlock the elemental powers, your weapons take on all sorts of cool new forms. Check out Song of Iron when it comes to PC and Xbox on August 31st. Coming up next, we have the Tony Hawk's Pro Skater and Flappy Bird mashup that the masses have been clamoring for, SkateBIRD. Ever want to put a puffy hat on a finch and shove him into a halfpipe? Well, now your weirdest dreams have come true. What stands out to me first and foremost is the clever park design, using household items such as straws, clocks, magazines, and so on. Items small enough for an actual bird to play around on. The second feature, and what makes this game potentially more forgiving than other skateboard games, is your ability to flap your bird's wings and slow your descent. And there will, of course, be cosmetic upgrades for your cute little wrens and chickadees. You can play SkateBIRD August 12th when it releases for PC, Mac, Linux, Nintendo Switch, and Xbox, including Game Pass. Team 17 have published some of my favorite indie games this year, from Narita Boy to Super Magbot, so it shouldn't be a surprise that I'm showcasing Greak Memories of Azur, their new hand-drawn adventure title. Being developed by a small team of 11 at Navigante Entertainment, Greak is a side-scrolling action RPG featuring 3 magical siblings on a mission to escape the warring lands of Azur. You can alternate between controlling the 3 characters, each with their own skill sets and abilities, similar to the recent Astalon Tears of the Earth. There are so many things I like about the look of this game, from the ethereal atmosphere that reminds me a lot of Hollow Knight, or the hand-drawn animations and landscapes, replete with vibrant color. And it's all complemented with an orchestral soundtrack to tie everything together. Greak Memories of Azur will be launched on PC and all consoles on August 18th. Our next game is one that probably needs no introduction. If you've been following indie games for long at all, you inevitably have heard of Death Trash at this point, and I'm so glad to see this finally releasing into early access on PC this month. Death Trash is an RPG game reminiscent of Goliaths in the genre like Fallout, and features your character wandering through a post-apocalyptic world filled with disturbing flesh monsters and life-altering choices. I love RPGs for the choices and the inherent replayability that comes with those choices, and Death Trash, from what I've played of the demo, gives you plenty of choices straight from the get-go. I chose early on to bypass the training seminar, or what was likely the tutorial, and found myself running around outside in the lonely expanse with no idea what to do next, and I loved it. Death Trash will be available on PC, Mac, and Linux on August 5th, with consoles planned at the 1.0 launch sometime next year. Yes, this is our 3rd game out of 10 featuring a bird, and no, I'm not sorry about it. Haven Park is another game that I was fortunate to play the demo of during Steam Next Fest, and boy can I say that this was love at first sight. Wandering around the mountains and lakes, establishing and cleaning up camps for others to enjoy, this game reminds me what it was like when we used to be able to go outside and explore. It incorporates some resource management and collection aspects in that you'll need wood, metal, and other items to repair signs and campsites, which will then attract new visitors and allow you to meet the lovely NPCs. If you enjoy calm and casual exploration games like A Short Hike or Animal Crossing, I think Haven Park will be right up your alley. You can play it on PC, Mac, Linux, and Nintendo Switch on August 5th. Metroidvanias are still all the rage in 2021, and for good reason. There are so many cool things you can do with them, and the gameplay loop is rewarding and keeps you engaged for hours. Recompile is trying to kick things up a notch and transcend to another level of Metroidvania, where you play as a semi-sapient program and explore the sprawling mainframe world. You can fight and hack your way through many situations, even with the ability to alter other inhabitants of the world. I feel like, similar to Narita Boy, a lot of the nuance and intricacies of coding and the language will be lost on my dull mind, but this still looks to be an imaginative and fresh take on the Metroidvania genre, with a sweet synth soundtrack to boot. Recompiled releases to PC, Xbox, and PlayStation on August 19th. If you're enjoying the video, please gently caress the like button and consider subscribing. Both things do help support our channel and help other indie game fans like you find our videos too. And concluding our list is Book of Travels, an online RPG which looks truly serene, magical, awe-inspiring. I could go on and on. Touted as a TMO, or tiny multiplayer online, you will have opportunities to meet and interact with other players in this stunning virtual world, but you will be hampered by a limited vocabulary consisting of learned symbols, and the number of players on a server is severely limited as well, so that you might only encounter 1 or 2 players per session. Think of how Journey did communication, but if you could learn new symbols by traveling to new places. Your character will have a main story and side quests to draw you to the far reaches of the world called Debraded Shore, which to me is just breathtaking to look at. The team at Might and Delight have put a lot of thought and love into this game as evidenced in their community updates, and I hope to run into some of you while exploring this magical world. Book of Travels comes to PC, Mac, and Linux via Steam on August 30th. Don't forget to leave a comment below for your chance to win a copy of any game in this countdown. Thank you very much to my 1,220 subscribers for your support. If you like what you see here at Indie Game Pulse, consider helping us grow by supporting us on Patreon. For more top indie game countdowns and reviews, check out the videos on your screen now, and I'll see you on the other side.